Hey, what is going on, YouTube friends and family? It's the Beard Guy, Guns and Gear, back on a beautiful Wednesday, mid-morning, early afternoon. Just went over to the post office and picked up another box. So really excited to get into this. And you guys are saying I'm dragging it on. There was a couple of comments on one of the last unboxings that I was dragging it on. And I was kind of like saying, well, it's kind of like Christmas, right? Like, you know, when you were a kid, once you open the presents, it's all done. Christmas is over. So, I apologize for that if I was dragging you through my anticipation, but I couldn't help it. I just didn't want it to be over, and I was just waiting to see it. So anyway, another box here, and I got my little drop point knife here to get into it, and I'm going to get into it right away because I already know what it is. I haven't been waiting for all that long for it, and my brother has one. And I've already shot it even, so I know that these are amazing. I'm going to give you some hints. It's put out by a German company. They make all kinds of cool and fun things. This is not practical application wise. I guess you could say give you some more hints. It's good for initial entry into getting into firearms, and this is an outstanding training tool as well. And I love these things. This is one of my favorite calibers. There's another hint. Just because the ammunition is the cheapest you can buy, and it's also exempt from a lot of the rules and regulations and control that we have here in Canada as far as magazine capacity. So if you're Canadian, you got that right away. You probably know exactly what I'm opening up. And it's a box. Ooh. And just to let you know where it came from, we've got another little sticker here, SFRC. We'll put the link in the description as far as if you want to go on there and source this exact firearm. I do believe they have quite a few of them. These things are so cool and they're so much fun. And they're so cheap to shoot a bunch of. And we'll let you know right now that it is in the mighty 22 Rimfire caliber. So there's the magazine for it. Again, Canadian laws, we're not restricted by size for Rimfire, so we can have 110, I think they sell 110 round drum mags for this particular firearm. Really cool features on these magazines, which people have already talked about. Kind of that spring-loaded thing, so you can kind of slide down as you're loading the ammo, makes it good. It's plastic, it's polymer, but I mean, these firearms don't really get a lot of abuse, so they're pretty robust, and they happen to stick around for quite a while. More paper. I'm not going to put it down on the floor this time because my dog has a tendency of picking up a little piece of paper and making messes. So, oh boy. All right. So there we go. It is the German Sporting Guns GSG 16. Very similar looking to your MP5. Pretty similar in function too, actually. I'll take the condom off the fake silencer so it looks a little bit cooler. Really cool little firearms. Like I said, 22 rimfire. Very, very, very robust as far as standing up to, you know, a little bit of abuse. I've been looking at the reviews and that with people who've owned them for quite a while, and they said there's some kind of weird things about it. It's as far, you know, it feels, I'm not going to say cheap, but, you know, like if you, like what I'm doing right now, right? This is kind of a polymer stock on the back. And the rails are even polymer, but they have like a couple of reinforcements in the bottom, so you can twist it, right? But this is not a battle gun, okay? This is not a firearm that was designed to go into battle. It's a 22, and it's supposed to be fun, but it's got some practical applications. I mean, as you can see, it's got like Picatinny all the way around, and I'll talk about that a little bit because in the first version of these, they came out and the stocks basically looked exactly the same as your MP5s. And they got, I'm not going to say sued, but they got basically confronted saying like, oh, that's our patent design, you can't do that. So they came out with another iteration that has the Picatinny all the way around, and I guess it doesn't resemble it enough so that company went after them. But it's got a lot of the very similar features, and you can see for all you YouTube range safety officers out there, you know, firearms are checked, overchecked, triple checked before you get the video. Right, so don't think that I'm being unsafe with my firearms. I've been around firearms long enough to know when I can handle them safely. Okay, and they put a flag in the front so we know that it is unloaded, and I've checked the chamber, but you kind of got that cool feature where you can, you know, lock it up in place, the bolt holds, stays open, and then when you're loaded with a magazine, you can kind of do that overhand slap on the cocking lever, and it brings the action forward. Now you have a round in the chamber. So that's kind of the cool feature of it, or one of those cool features of it. You could swap that around to the other side if you wanted to. I don't know why you would. I guess if you're left-handed, that might be an issue for you. The controls are the same. You've got you know, safety, fire, big huge paddle on the bottom for magazine release. Again, when you're in, or you can do it with actually a finger push there too, but it's a little bit recessed, as you can see, so it's a little harder to get into. But that paddle is nice. It's accessible. It actuates fine. I mean, right now in Canada, these are going for roughly $500, which is a decent value, I think, for what you're getting. Again, GSG, German sporting guns. Who doesn't like anything that comes from Germany? I mean, I like their cars, I like their engineering, I like their firearms, I'm a big fan. Austria, you know, Glocks, yeah, it's all good. What the plan is for this guy, though, is we're going to kind of use it as obviously a plinker, because this is kind of what this is designed for. It's not going to be super accurate, especially when you look at the barrel length. And by the way, they've got that kind of fake suppressor on the end, so they could have an extended barrel without it just sticking out and looking naked. So that adds to the cool factor. You know, it's steel or aluminum. The shroud, the barrel itself's got a nice little crown on it. It looks the part of being a suppressor, which is way cool. Cool factor is like a 9 out of 10 on this for sure. Practicality, this would be a great little training firearm, right? If you're getting ready to do 3-gun, and you just want to go out and shoot a bunch of rounds, maybe run through a couple of courses and stuff, you take this, you use this, you're shooting 22 rimfire, like I said, and you're not going through a whole bunch of money compared to like a 9mm carbine maybe, or a 223, which is still relatively inexpensive, but 22 rimfire, I mean, you can get it for by the box. And one of the other things that we're going to do with this guy is I have a Vortex Spitfire red dot. This is just the box. The scope is not in here, but it is on another firearm that is now prohibited. So I can't use it for anything right now. It has to stay in my safe. And you Canadians, you out there, if you're AR owners, you feel my pain. You know, we put these firearms and we want to use them, and the government basically tells us that we can't do anything with it. So anyway, I've got a Spitfire on an AR, and I'm going to take that off, sadly, and I'm going to put it on this. I guess it's a lose-win situation for me. And if we ever are able to use our ARs again at the range, then I'll just take it off and put it back on. But these things here, I mean, they run quite reliably. Like I said, I've shot my brother's. He's got the exact same, you know, GSG 16 model. He's got the exact same thing. We've run it, we've plinked a bunch, and it doesn't have any feed issues, many feed issues. If you do have a feed issue, it's generally to do with the insertion of the magazine. So I think these are 22 round magazines. Yes, 22 round, which is, you know, decent, right? You can go, but if you shoot a lot of 22, you know you can go through 22s like no time at all. So good fun. I think there's another magazine in here. It's supposed to come with 2. If it didn't, it's not really that big a deal. They're fairly inexpensive to pick up, and I know that SFRC has a bunch of them. So there it is, unboxed GSG 16 in the 22 rimfire. Coolness factor, 9 out of 10. application wise, I mean, I guess you could use this for small game hunting where it is permitted. Check your regulations, as I always say. But the handle, I mean, the grip on it feels good. It's got those finger grooves, but it is a little slippery. As far as shouldering it, I mean, it's got a pretty short reach to it, even with it in a full extension. It feels short and compact, but if you've ever held an MP5, it feels the same way. So there's no way to really, you know, to put it out there where you would think like, oh, there's my eye relief. It's a very, I mean, the MP5 is used for close quarters, right? It's not a long range firearm, and so this is like close quarter planking, if you want to say that. But we're going to do a video on how to mount a red dot, how to kind of estimate the eye relief kind of thing. And the great thing about putting a red dot on something like this is, okay, so just to wrap it up, we cleaned this stuff out of the way so you can get a look at, and I unpacked the rest of the stuff that was in the box so you can get a good look at the firearm itself. And I just checked the website. Actually, they've gone up in price a little bit. They're $549 now. So this is what you get for $549. Firearm, one magazine. I'll explain this toy. You can see kind of the ambidextrous controls, which is nice. Selector switch on both sides. Magazine detach. It's very solid, feels good, easy to get access to. The only thing I would say is the trigger is quite a bit spongy, but again, this is not a precision rimfire rifle. This is a go have fun, go plank, go practice, good training tool for anybody who's into 3-gun or into any kind of like IPSC style rifle shooting. It's kind of cool. I was looking at like the kit that it comes with. So you get a little dummy 22 round, which I guess, you know, same as a snap cap. That way you can fire the action and you'll be good. As well, you get these, it almost looks like the old model kits. Remember those? You get like different size and height front posts for your sights. And right now it's got a black one on there, but you can see there's like a luminescent one as well, or like luminescent in quote marks. They're pretty cheap-ish looking. They're plastic, but again, this is not a battle rifle. What I do like though, the Picatinny, like I said, is all the way around, and it's on M-LOK. So if you have some attachments that you want to put on this that are M-LOK attached, like, I don't know, maybe a front grip would kind of look cool on it, a little mini front grip on the front. You could take the bottom rail off and just go straight with an M-LOK, and a lot of companies are putting out M-LOK accessories now because they do lock very securely. So that's what you get. You get the little instructions, you know, made in Germany. GSG is a cool company. They're doing a whole bunch of, let's say, tribute firearms. You can get the STG 44, the MP40, all in 22 caliber rimfire. I think they're doing a couple of 9mm now. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but it's you know, kind of new to the North American, new-ish to the North American market. And I mean, who doesn't want, especially in Canada where everything is so controlled right now, who doesn't want to go to the range with something like this, right? It's cool. You're just going to have fun. You put a nice little sling strap on there, you know, and go plink away, have fun. The only thing I've seen, and maybe you guys know, but everybody has kind of questioned what this rail would be for. Like, there's a Picatinny rail on the back part. I can't see any application for that. I cannot think why you would need that, or what part of, like, I don't know. Somebody suggested, yeah, you put a flashlight on it so you can see your sights. I think that was like tongue-in-cheek, you know, a little bit of a joke. But this is the most useless feature that I've ever seen. You can actually store your magazine into the, or your second magazine if you had one, in the rear stock. I don't like that. I'm not going to put my magazines there. The only place that that's probably going to go into storage like that is if I put it in one of my drag bags to bring to the range. At least I know where the second magazine is. But yeah, it's a cool little firearm. Like I said, for $549, I mean, you want to have something that's cool. We were at a gun shop the other day, and there was a guy dropping $3,000 on an X, a Tabor 95. So I mean, Is he going to have more fun than this? I'm not so sure. I mean, at least that firearm is still unrestricted in Canada for the time being. But 22 Rimfire is one of my favorite calibers because it's so cheap and it's such a great way to take the youth, or you've got I don't know, a lady friend or even a guy friend that's never shot a firearm. And it doesn't matter what it is, if it's a pistol, if it's a rifle, if it's something like this, you can kind of get that, ooh, it's black and scary kind of thing out of them. And just go and, like, there's no kick to it, there's no recoil. These things are pretty good as far as, like, just shooting a bunch of rounds and having fun. And it gets people to not be afraid of shooting, and then maybe they go from that to something else. But I love 22s. I've got a couple. Okay, I've got a couple, and I could always have another one. In fact, I think if somebody was gonna like offer me, the choice of 2 firearms, depending on what they are, of course, I kind of steer towards the 22 just because they're so much fun and they're so cheap. And they're exempt from most of the control rules and regulations. We can have high capacity magazines, right? Because it's just a plinker. It's just rimfire. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope I didn't drag on the unbox too long for those people that, don't know how to use the scroll bar to skip ahead to where the actual thing is out of the box. And I hope the YouTube range safety officers aren't too upset with me. I mean, it did come flagged, so there's that. Anyway, I highly suggest if you got $550 floating around and you want to go have some fun with your kids, your wife, your significant other, your spouse, your husband, whatever it is, get one of these things. They're really cool. They're fun to shoot. I'm gonna put that red dot on it. We'll do a video of how to mount the red dot and kind of see where the eye relief and stuff is. And thank you guys as always for supporting my channel. We're still in the fledgling kind of growth period, and it's so amazing that you guys are loving, or some of you are loving what I'm doing. Some of you guys are liking what I'm doing. I don't care which one it is. I love the comments. I love the feedback. So please comment, like, subscribe, and we'll keep putting out videos for you. I mean, this is what we do. All right, have a good one.